Well, this is very exciting. I made the mistake sometime, I believe it was last year, I'm losing track of time, Mike, of calling my wife from Missouri and saying, babe, I've just had the 5th best day of my life. You see, I figured that between marriage and the birth of our first child, I mean, there had to be 4 days in there that if I said anything above 5, Nikki would be mad at me, So you certainly don't want to say this has been the best day of my life. But I had an opportunity to taste some 80 different recipes that were going into the very first cookbook project that I've been a part of called Maker's Diet Meals. This is literally a decade in the making, and it's more than a cookbook. It's really a guide to healthy living with some of the most delicious foods and recipes, as well as instructions on how to prepare food than I've ever dreamed possible. It was worth the wait, and it was certainly worth the eating of the 80 foods. And I can remember like it was yesterday, this Maker's Diet Meals, which is co-authored with our very own Beyond Organic chef Deb Williams, Dr. Josh Axe, with special contributions by Kate Battistelli and Kelsey Yo. And so we came together in Missouri on, I believe it was a cool day, and the ladies and some of us were helping make this happen. And by make this happen, the ladies were preparing the food. Mike, myself, Josh, some of our team were tasting the food. The only problem is we had to sit there and watch the food wait for its time to be photographed and styled, if you will. And I think a few times I was very tempted to ruin the entire shoot when the white bean chili was up or when some of those muffins or the cheesy bread. Anyway, I'm getting hungry now. But, folks, this is something I think that everybody can use. We've all seen and benefited from and used some great cookbooks. A lot of us who are following some of the Weston A. Price principles, Nourishing Traditions has been a standby in our home. Hundreds of recipes, great information, and there's been cookbook after cookbook. And what we do lots of times is take a traditional cookbook and we make the recipes organic and natural, but it doesn't always work that way. And so for a long time, I've always wished that all the food principles, all the recipes and cooking styles that I followed were in one place, and now it is. So Maker's Diet Meals will literally be your one-stop shop on how to eat and how to prepare foods. There's everything from entrees to desserts to special smoothies. This will wow people. A lot of recipes are grain-free. Almost all of them are gluten-free. We use sprouted probiotic foods and beverages, beyond organic ingredients all throughout the cookbook. And it's really, really, I would say, a great quality cookbook along the lines of Williams-Sonoma or one of those higher-end foodie-type stores. And so I can't say enough good things about it. The Maker's Diet Meals cookbook, if given as a gift or shared with others, will certainly point people to the Beyond Organic products and message. And I think you'll see tremendous results in your health and the health of others. And because I've tasted virtually every recipe, I can tell you that there is a great combination of some more elaborate recipes, some very quick recipes, but this is written so that any one of you listening or anyone you know can get the most out of your diet and enjoy it. Introduce people to the Beyond Organic way of eating and living that are not used to consuming foods. Mike, it's interesting. I am being blessed right now, in the process of expanding my family, and I can't talk a lot about it at this point, but definitely covet your prayers, and God's doing some really amazing things. But I'm learning once again what it's like to integrate people into this diet. I'm talking from babies and toddlers to preteens and teens, and you take it for granted when you raise your kids this way, but integrating new, let's say, health initiates to the Beyond Organic way, it's challenging, and I'm again tasked with finding suitable alternatives and really, really healthy and nutritious foods to substitute for a diet where people are quite literally used to going to fast food 3 days a week. And so with the family expanding, I've got a baby who, she's a toddler actually. I walk through a store and she points out there's pizza, there's goldfish, there's cookies, there's crackers, there's candy. So obviously she knows that from experience. And then I've got a preteen who's telling me all the fast food places she usually eats, and I've never been to some of them because they weren't around when I was a kid and still eating somewhat unhealthy, like Sonic, et cetera. And so I'm needing to compete with this, and I'm finding the Maker's Diet Meals recipes are rising to the task. So it's a great book. It will be cherished as a gift. And I really think while these two books, Mike, are very unrelated in their message, that it's an awesome combo if someone were to purchase these, because they're very inspiring and also very practical, and they're not preachy to the standpoint of, eat this way or you're going to die. I mean, the Maker's Diet Meals is a very gentle introduction to Beyond Organic Eating with, as I mentioned, great instructions, great health tips. And then the Joseph Blessing really meets you where you're at and helps you understand that what you're going through, the challenges, they're to be expected, but God has your back and he will deliver you to the other end. And so, Mike, I'm excited about both of these books, and I really would love for the people listening to get a hold of them and share them with the people they love.